All right, welcome to our Tuesday training. So excited to be here with you guys today. All right, we're going to talk about a little bit more of following up from Mullen's teachings of what to post on social media. So you've been posting on social media, you've been putting up all the things and people are commenting now, right? People are starting to reply, they're starting to respond to your post that you put up, or they're maybe messaging you. What do you do at this point? That's the biggest question, is how do I take this into a sales conversation? How do I make it natural? How do I make it so it's not salesy? All of those kind of things. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And as you can see, we're just going to dive right in so that we can make these short and sweet and stay on point. And I'm Samantha Vickers. I'm going to be training with you guys today. And we're going to talk all about how to DM in social media conversations. So I want you guys to picture so we're going to step back from social media for just a second. And we're going to picture if we went to an in-person networking event. Okay. So in an in-person networking event, you would walk into the room and you would probably smile at people. You probably, make eye contact with someone. When you went over to them, you would probably start a little bit of a chit chat, things like that. I want you guys to think about the feeling of that and asking back and forth, oh, hey, what do you do? Those kind of things. And I want you to think about that as you're thinking about your social media conversations, because our conversations on social media can really easily turn to going straight for asking for the sale or getting kind of self-focused, I think, and business focused, when really, if we were in person with somebody, we would take that time to nurture, to cultivate a relationship with them. And some people you're going to be talking to, you already have that relationship with, and that's totally fine. But some of the posts that you put up, especially let's talk about on Instagram, maybe that there's new people that you're talking to that you haven't talked to before. You're going to want to get to know them a little bit more before you start just dropping your link and saying, here, go to my website and order. That's really not how any of us want to be sold, right? All of us are consumers. Let's agree on this. Everybody's buying something every day, right? Raise your hand if you bought something yesterday. Raise your hand if you're probably going to buy something today. And so we are all purchasing, we're all buying, we're all consumers all the time. But nobody wants to be sold to. Nobody wants someone to be like, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff. That's why we don't post on social media of, oh, I'm selling this new, amazing skincare, this amazing collagen. Here's my link, go buy it. It doesn't work. People don't want that. They want to have a relationship. They want to be seen by you. They want to be heard. So when you post on social media and you say, Beth Street had an amazing post about, hey, if you have had the big C and lost some of, your hair, you're wanting to get some of those things back, and I've found a solution for you. It was an attraction post. It was something that people are going to relate to if they've had COVID and they're sitting there going, I lost hair during COVID and it was miserable. I don't want it to be this way. I'm going to ask for more information. So they're commenting on her post saying, yes, Beth, tell me the secret. Tell me what you've got. So the key here is, once again, not to sell to them directly in that post, but to comment and say, oh my goodness, I'm going to DM you all the details. So that's what you do to keep that interaction going on the post that you put up. But you're going to take those conversations into the DMs, into a direct message to them, so that you can really have them be seen, heard, and have it be a private conversation so that you guys can talk about it. So then you're going to go into your DMs and you're going to message them and say, hey, Joanne, I saw that you commented, I want to know how COVID was for you. Are you doing better? First start with, are they okay? What would that conversation be like? Even if someone asked you, I need to know this. Yeah, let me tell you about it. And are you feeling better? How are things going? You can start with a normal conversation and they're going to reply back with, yeah, it was so hard with this and that. And I can't believe I, had so much hair loss, all those kind of things. And then you can tell them your story, basically, of what happened to you and how you have used this. And it's been so amazing. So you're sharing, you're nurturing, you're building up the testimonial of this product. You're not just going, it's so awesome, here's my link, go and order. And so can you guys feel a difference in the way that that conversation would go? Actually talking to a real life person. And then the other thing I wanted to say, so going with that conversation really naturally, finding out their needs. And I would actually, I ask people all the time when I get into those DMs, I will ask them, you know, is it just hair loss, or are you still feeling fatigued? Are you still, you know, what other symptoms do you have right now? Or, and a lot of times people will bring out other things. Oh, I can't sleep, but you know what? I haven't been able to sleep forever. And so, you know, that's something that I struggle with. And then you can start saying, oh, you know, if I've struggled with good sleep myself. And so I would say something like, I have struggled to be able to calm my mind down to go to sleep for so many years. And I love this sleep balm. It's been amazing. And I don't even have to say the MIG sleep balm. I can just say, I love this sleep balm. It's been amazing. I also take a wonderful herbal nootropic that helps with not only, you know, keeping you focused during the day, but it helps with better sleep. And those are all things that you can find when we look over some of the things that might be helpful for you. And so it's not just saying like, you have to buy MIG. It's talking to them and really serving them and giving them also what you have found with the products and it's helped you. And that's what people are buying, because people are buying you. They're not really buying MIG. They are buying the products, but they're buying you. Everyone is going to buy you. That is the key with selling, is that when you're serving you and you're caring about people, they're buying that. That's what they feel. And they trust that you know that these products are going to work for them. That's exactly the conversation, how it should feel, how it should flow when you are talking to people. And so I just want you guys to keep that in mind when you are having these conversations. And can you guys put in the chat if you have other questions about this? Because I really want to go through, and we can even go through if you've struggled with how to have a conversation with someone. I would love to have, you know, do kind of like a role play of how I might handle that. And we can talk through it, because I think it's important to realize that it's a real person you're talking to on the other side of that computer. And how would you handle this if they were sitting in your living room with you? Because I think that once you change and shift your perspective to, if I was sitting down with them and having this conversation, I wouldn't just send them 3 giant paragraphs about MIG. I wouldn't. I would be asking them a question, hearing them reply and answer, and then I'd give them more information. And then I'd have them answer again. And then I'd give them more information. So I know in my early years of selling, it was the fire hose of, oh, you asked for this information. Now I'm going to send you a PDF, and I'm going to send you a 13-minute video, and I'm going to send you this, and I'm going to send you that. And really, nobody's going to watch those or read those. They really aren't. They want to be seen and heard, and they will buy more quickly when they have been seen and heard and nurtured in a real human way, instead of just sending them information. People don't want information overload. They just want you to understand them and to tell them what to do, and that this is going to work. So, okay, let me read some of the comments in the chat and see. Yes, they do believe in you and your recommendations. That's what people are buying. People are buying you. Okay, here's a question. How do you start a conversation with someone who just likes or hearts your post, not asking about your product? Awesome. Okay, let's talk about that. And then I really like how you said the things that you can look over when you discuss instead of, yes. So talking to people and making that shift in your mind to, it's not just this one product. They're reaching out to you because they're seeing either you, the two reasons that people are going to respond and comment on your post is because you have something they want, or they know that they look to you as an expert. And so those are the 2 reasons that they're going to reach out to you. You are directly either telling them, I have something you want, like with Beth's post that she put up, she's directly speaking to people. She's saying, I have something that you're going to want. You're going to want this, and like, let me know and I'm going to help you with it. So that one's a much easier conversation to move into, getting them that information, nurturing just a little bit back and forth before you give them, you know, your link, and talk to them about how they can get it for $10 off, do the MIG for free, all of those kind of things. Go and subscribe and save, all of that stuff. When you have someone that just hearts or likes your post, I would just reach out to that person and just say, hey, I saw that you have been liking some of my posts. I just wanted to see how you were doing. Honestly, that's where I would start the conversation. I haven't talked to you in a long time. How is it going? How's life? Because what naturally happens if you think about a conversation of someone that you haven't seen in forever, you start asking them how they're doing, they're going to start asking you how you're doing. Or they might even, after that first initial reach out, they might say, yeah, I really love everything that you're sharing. You know, I don't really know a lot about the stuff that you're doing, but I think that it's something like natural something, you know, and then it starts that conversation, it opens it up. So that's what, yeah, just start a simple conversation of connecting with them and being a real human being, instead of like, hey, I saw you like my post. Do you want to order some stuff? Don't do that. Don't do that. You want to start a reach out and say, hey, I've noticed that you have been, you know, liking and hearting, and you've been on my mind. I've been thinking about you. I just want to check in. How's life going? I know it's crazy for everyone right now. How are you guys doing? And starting that conversation, and then you're naturally going to get into that. Okay. So there's one more thing I was going to tell you guys. So, I'm like already needing to wrap it up because this goes by so fast. So put any more questions so I can cover those really quick too. But the only way that you can share your testimonial of these products and be able to have, when you start talking to someone and you tell them, you know, I've struggled with sleep too, this has helped me. The only way that you can share your testimonial of the products is to become a product of the products. You have to use the products in order to have that testimonial. And so I really encourage you, if you have not tried all of the products, or you haven't tried, you know, a fraction of the products, if you've only, you know, used the facial method and you haven't tried brain activation or the collagen or things like that, get those products in your hands, in your body, on your body, because you're going to have a testimonial of them to share with people. And it's going to be from your heart, and it's going to be authentic instead of just being salesy. It feels salesy when you don't actually have a personal testimonial of it. Because I've used all of the products, I can, from my heart, tell people how this has helped me and how it could help them too. And that is the number one reason when we say that people are buying you, they're buying you, they're buying your testimonial, they're buying what you know is true. And so if you have that testimonial, you're going to be able to share it more freely. It feels salesy when you're trying to sell something that you don't believe in, that you haven't tried. And so that's another key point in these conversations, is to make sure that you are a product of the product, so that you can have those testimonials of the products to share with people. So my takeaways for right now on these conversations after you're posting on social media is, have it be a real conversation. Think of it as though you're sitting with somebody either in your living room, if it's someone you know, and you're talking to them back and forth. And at that point, I would actually be sending voice memos back and forth to them and doing the voice texting back and forth. People want to hear your voice. They want to hear what you're talking about. We talked about that on the town hall call. And then second is that if it's a new person that you're talking to, then think of it like you would if you were at an in-person networking event, that you're going to go back and forth with them. Start with the conversation of, hey, you know, so awesome to connect with you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. The natural flow of that is that they're going to ask about you too. Or, you know, when you're starting those conversations up and reconnecting with people, how are you doing? The natural flow in a conversation is they're going to ask what you're doing next. So don't pounce on people. Pounce is not just one of the products we sell. Don't like pounce on people as far as, you know, I have to start the conversation and tell them what I'm doing. Let it be natural, let it flow the way it needs to, and start with serving them first. And you will always have it come back to you of being able to talk with them and tell them what you're doing too. So those are my pro tips on communicating in the DMs and on social media with people, and really keeping it real. Keep that person in your mind. They're a real human being behind their phone, behind their computer. That's a real human being you're talking to. And so those are my pro tips. I don't know if anyone else has any other things they want to add or questions. Yes, Jennifer said that it's a great way to break the ice and make people feel comfortable about what you're going to share. 100%. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here for our lunch and learn. And we will be back next Tuesday.